Hello and welcome to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast on the Box Office Buzz 302 YouTube channel. I am Gilly Rosari with my main man Larry Loper, and we are coming to you live on this Tuesday. Ooh, what is it? January 27th?
It is.
Right?
It
January
is.
27th. So this month is almost over. We
It
are
is.
we're almost down to 11 months for
Oof.
for 2026. It goes fast. It goes fast. Once you're out of school, man, time it
Man,
just moves, bruh. It just moves.
you ain't right about
So
that, bro.
so on today's show, we're gonna talk we're gonna recap the conference championship. We're gonna talk about how tough it is to be a Jets and Titans fan. We're gonna talk about the head coaching jobs that are still available. Recap UFC 324. Early thoughts on the Super Bowl. Got a few other mentions, but let's start with something we did not talk about last week. And I want to start today with it. We don't have to spend a lot of time, but I want to start with it. The Baseball Hall of Fame got announced just over a week ago. We did not talk about it. Two more members have gotten in, and that's Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones. They will
Oh,
be joining Jeff Kent, who was announced a few months earlier that he was going to be getting in. So you got two former Mets and a guy who used to play against the Mets all the time, and Andrew Jones. Do you have any issues, any problems with Beltran, center fielder, Andrew Jones, center fielder, and Jeff Kent, primarily a second baseman? Any of those three guys making the Hall of Fame?
I have no argument whatsoever. Nah, none. I think it was some great choices. Uh, they had great careers. You know, they were staples of their teams. You know, all-star appearances.
Mm-hmm.
They were definitely the best of their position. While they played, they were definitely the best of their position, or one of the best of their positions while they played. So I think the resume stacks up. I have no qualms or no discrepancies about the three. I think that was a great choice. What do you think?
I think Carlos Beltran definitely is. He was a good center fielder and a very good hitter. I think Jeff Kent definitely is. He was former league MVP. Um, part of his part of his career was marred by the fact that he was playing third base for the Mets, and he's a true second baseman. But once he got shipped out of New York and went to San Francisco playing
Mhm.
his natural position, I mean, part of the reason that Barry Bonds was so good was because of Jeff Kent. Now, you know these writers, if they don't like you personally, they make you pay a little bit by the waiting game. And Jeff Kent wasn't exactly a sweetheart, but ultimately he got in and he's getting in before what's his name? Who I just mentioned.
Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
He's getting in before Barry Bonds, so he's got to like that a little bit. I question Andrew Jones because early in his career, Andrew Jones had a lot of power,
Hmm.
and for a decade, he was the best defensive center fielder in all the major leagues. But after the beginning of his career, he kind of was meh offensively. And after 10 years, he wasn't good defensively anymore. And he really fell off. He went from great to very good to he can't be in the league anymore. Like he really fell off. Where to the point where I would say in totality in career, I think Bernie Williams had a better career than Andrew Jones. Now at the very beginning of Andrew Jones's career with the power, he was better than Bernie, but it didn't stay like that very long. Now he's better defensively for 10 years, but Bernie Williams won't even sniff the Hall of Fame. But I think totality in his career, him or Jim Edmonds, another good offensive guy, but a great defensive guy. Andrew Jones really got in because of his defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, offensively, he would never sniff it.
Yeah.
But because he got in, it makes you think about other guys that offensively aren't near Hall of Fame, but defensively very good, like Omar Vizquel. Omar Vizquel is never getting into the Hall of Fame.
No. No.
Never. But he was a fantastic defensive player. Fantastic. fantastic, especially at shortstop. But he doesn't have the offensive numbers. He was okay offensively, but he's never going to get in. So I question Andrew Jones.
Okay.
But Jeff Kent, Carlos Beltran, to me, those guys are Hall of Famers.
All
They're
day
Hall
long.
of Famers.
You
All
think
day
Andrew,
long.
you think Andrew Jones is because he stayed with one team his whole career?
Well, he wasn't with one team his whole
Oh,
career.
he was
He
with
was
Atlanta.
when he was with Atlanta, he was great. Once he wasn't great anymore, he was on a different team, different team.
Okay.
He was even on the Yankees for 10 minutes. He wasn't good anymore. He got designated for assignment.
Mm.
So, it goes like that. So that's who I question, Andrew Jones, but Kent for sure, Carlos Beltran for sure. So I wanted to make sure I made mention of that, and we did. All right, let's recap this past weekend. So first things first, I want to congratulate my good friend Michael Green. Michael Green is the only guy that I know that is a Seattle Seahawks fan,
Okay.
and he's a real one. He
That's got to be.
he knows stuff. He does. He knows his team, he knows the league, and what puts the cherry on top for me with him, he hates the Eagles. Hates them.
With a passion.
Hates the organization, hates the fans. Ugh. If he ain't talking good about his Seattle Seahawks, he's talking bad about the Eagles. That's why he's a good friend of mine. And
Okay, then.
probably would be a good friend of yours too.
Right about that.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying. So congratulations to my good friend Michael Green and his Seattle Seahawks, who are back in the Super Bowl a decade later.
Oh man. Oh man. We talking about that's the first game we gonna discuss.
You
Are we
want
gonna
to? We're,
discuss?
we're there. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
I mean you already opened up that can, so let's go. Oh man, first and foremost, second again, congratulations to Seattle. They dominated all year. They was a team that wasn't on nobody's radar at all. We never gave them their respect or their flowers. Sam Darnold was waiting for him to turn to Cinderella to the pumpkin again after the ball. It never happened. He played his best game. Hopefully, it's not his best game, but the game he needed to play to push his team to go to the Super Bowl, he performed. There's no question about what Sam Darnold is, in my opinion, as a quarterback, man. And for him to be so resilient, think about it, man. Think about his path. You get drafted to a bum franchise, which we're going to get into that franchise. It's just
we're going to get into that franchise.
We're going to get to that franchise, right? So, but one of his biggest things coming out of college was what? He was very accurate as a quarterback. That was his upside. He was accurate, right? Once again, to deal with that media in New York, that team, that organization, it's just a bad place to go. I don't care who the coach is, who the owner is. It's just bad, right? Then you get shipped off to Carolina, which, injuries and things of that nature didn't pan out right down to Carolina. So now we're putting you in this backup role. Now he's just a backup role. He's being considered a bust. He's considered, why did he draft him so high? These are the questions that surrounded him.
Yeah.
He goes to San Francisco. And I think that's probably the best thing that could have happened to him. Even though he didn't play a lot that season, I don't think he played at all that season, honestly. But he got a chance to sit behind a great offensive-minded coach with a great system to see how a real system is ran. Then you go to Minnesota, who by having familiarity with that system, by you time you got with the quarterback whisperer, Connell, it was just, you unlocked something. You unlocked something in Sam Darnold that was there. You was able to bring it out. Go out to LA, we know the story. They spanked him. It was bad. So we questioned that. We said, man, can he perform in the big game? Boom. Goes to Seattle. McDonald had his pick. He knew that was his quarterback. The organization knew that was his quarterback. He knew what he needed for his system. Kubiak knew what kind of quarterback he needed for his system, right? You bring him out there, and it was just a match made in heaven. That goes to show you when you have an organization that believes in you, that gave you the money, that pit playmakers around you, that pit a defense behind you, so you don't have to do everything, because all you got to do is play complementary football, and we will do the rest, okay? took the league by storm. Number one, came out of a hard conference outside of y'all conference because y'all was the hardest because everybody finished above 500 in y'all conference. So technically, y'all was the hardest conference. Okay. But the West was right there. Number one seed. Put smackdown on San Francisco. Shootout with the Rams. With the MVP, who's going to be the MVP, Matt Stafford. You outperformed the MVP. Okay. I have nothing else to say but positive for Sam Darnold. Shout out to Sam Darnold. Shout out to that whole organization. It's great to see this organization go to the big dance. And I just love Sam Darnold afterwards because once the path he done took, man, his high is his high. His low is going to be his low. He keeps it even kill, man. That's when you've been doubted so much and all you have was your belief in yourself and your true people. Your highs, your high, your lows, your low. You keep it in the even, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew what kind of quarterback he was. And I'm glad that came to fruition now that he's going to Super Bowl. And, hey, man, we'll get to who we think going to win the Super Bowl. But, man, congratulations to that man, that organization.
I'm going to piggyback off of you with this Sam Darnold talk. I am so happy for that guy. He got, it's like the tail of the tape one way and then another way. He was so unlucky to get drafted by the Jets, have two bad, coaching staffs, gets replaced by Zach Wilson. They ship him out because of Zach Wilson, really? And then you're right. He's competing with, of all people, he's competing with Baker Mayfield for the starting job in Carolina, where the organization gave up on both of those guys. Wow. Same draft. One guy went first in the draft. The other guy went third. Then he goes to San Francisco, and I think you're right. By not playing, but seeing how the system was run and having a great offensive mind head coach, he was able to reset himself, get on the market, and got lucky again because he signed a 1-year, $10 million deal to be the backup in Minnesota. He only started because J.J. McCarthy tore his ACL in preseason. And he balled out. Sam Darnold did. Won 14 games. Then Minnesota, listen, hindsight 2020, they should have kept him. They didn't. They had a quarterback problem all year. Guys were getting hurt all year. Minnesota, give them credit, they still finished 9-8, but they were never in it to win that division. Never in it. I mean, they were 4-8 at one point, I believe, before they won their next 5. So at that, so a little over halfway into the season, they're out. They're out. Sam Darnold goes, replaces Geno, who played pretty well in Seattle, and again wins 14 games, back-to-back 14-win seasons on 2 different teams. And yes, he played with 2. Minnesota had a good defense, Seattle had a good defense, but at the end of the day, he made the plays. He was not turning the ball over in the postseason. And you're right, he outplayed the guy who's going to be the league MVP, who had a really good game in Matt Stafford. But Sam Darnold, I'm very happy for him. I'm very happy that out of that 2018 class of quarterbacks, he's the first one to go to the Super Bowl. He's the first. And he's playing against the team that people still haunt him over, where he said in the post game, I was seeing ghosts out there. Yeah. That was against the Patriots. It was. He was a Jet.
Yep.
Yeah. That. And now he's got an opportunity to win a Super Bowl against that team.
Man.
I mean, that turnaround, I mean, talk about like a full circle kind of deal. I mean, I don't want to give it away too much, but I know who I'm rooting for.
Man, you talking about, the NFL is built on storylines, parody, all the above. And if this isn't the story that wrote itself, This is a message to anybody that's ever been doubted in life, that's ever been criticized in life. You know, who own when the whole world is saying you're not it, that you got to have something in you to say, no, I'm him, I'm him, I'm him. You know, because he could easily went off like the Marcus Russell, the name one, who just came out with all this hype and just never panned out. And we could say systems, we could say the organization. Yeah, he was at the Raiders, so it might have been that he was at a terrible organization. I didn't bring the best, but then again, he didn't have certain habits either. So I got to put that on him too, to use as an example. Sam Darnold stuck with it. He practiced. He didn't cheat the game. He didn't get down on himself. And I know at times it had to be dark, man. I know it had to be dark, man. I know at times you had to question yourself, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, but look what happened, man. The sun comes out. The clouds will dispense. And then next thing you know, the snowstorm, the winter storm has subsided. And guess what happens? It melts. The flowers come out. And look, we're going to get this man his flowers.
Look at the 5 quarterbacks that were in that 2018 draft in the first round.
Wow.
You got Baker Mayfield, who went number 1.
Yep.
Story is almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
Underachieved,
Yeah.
got cast off, got another team, and now he's found his way, and
Yep.
he's a dog. He's a straight up dog.
Yeah.
So you got him. Then Saquon Barkley came at number 2, and then number 3 was Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Again, not good enough. Cast off. Then he got his opportunity, cashed in, went to another team, and now he's really cashing in. Then after that was Josh. I don't remember if it was Rosen or Allen who came first, but yeah, Josh Allen, who was expected going into the draft. I think it was Josh Rosen. I think Josh Rosen was next. He was the most accurate of all the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But again, got drafted by Arizona, bad coaching staff, and then got traded away to Miami, bad coaching staff. And now he's out of the league.
Yeah.
And then you got Josh Allen, who was supposed to be super inaccurate, turned out to be probably the best out of the group. And in Baltimore, jumps up into the very end of the first round to get Lamar Jackson, who people were saying shouldn't even be a quarterback in the league, should be a wide receiver.
Yes.
2 MVPs later as a quarterback. So, 4 out of the 5 have really turned out, and the one who didn't, same circumstances. Bad team, and no one gave him a shot after that. I mean, Josh Rosen has been out of the league for years, and he was supposed to be the most accurate out of all of them.
Yes,
and then the least accurate is the guy that we all think is probably the best out of the group. But it's Sam Darnold, who is the first one that not only is going to a Super Bowl, I think has a real legit chance.
Yeah.
To win it. Real legit chance.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy, man. They brought congratulations. They moved on from the Legion of Boom, and they created a new identity.
Yep.
A new identity. And speaking of moving on from identities, I guess can we segue into the AFC?
Let's do it, because the AFC, although was not nearly as good of a game, we can definitely talk about.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this, brother. I'm gonna ask you this, because we know we know that, especially when it comes to the last game, the AFC and NFC championship, we know is always going to come down to maybe 1 or 2 plays is going to turn this game, right? And in your opinion, on the AFC side, what was the 2 plays that you questioned in that game that flipped that game?
Well, the first one is very easy. It is not kicking a very makeable field goal. You go up 2 possessions at home. Okay. That's one. God, another play. Well, what was the thing that we said? We said Stidham, don't turn it over.
Don't turn over.
Don't turn it over. Let your defense have the whole field.
And
So
yeah,
panicking and
yeah,
shot putting the football
yeah,
instead of throwing it. I
uh,
don't know what he was thinking, but you turned the ball over. You gave a short field to New England, who was not moving the ball. And then, by the way, in the second half, if you've got like a Doppler weather system, you see that a storm is coming. They should have been up 10-0. He shouldn't have turned over the ball. I don't know why he panicked. And this game might have been very different. But you give a short field, you let Drake May do Drake May things. He wasn't passing very well, but he certainly finds a way to run for the first down, especially late in games. Terrible. And we give flowers to players and coaches. And listen, Sean Payton had a very good year. I don't think he had a good game. I really
I
don't. Even if he makes that first down, it's not a touchdown. It's not a touchdown. And he and the media tried so hard all week to make it seem like there was such a minute drop off having Stidham starting in this game. There's a reason why Stidham's a backup. There's a
it is.
reason why New England, when they gave him his chance, they got rid of him. There's a reason why when the Raiders gave him his chance, they got rid of him. There's a reason why he hadn't thrown a pass in 3 years in a game. And now you're trying to be like, oh, there's not much of a drop off. He can run the offense. He's got a great defense. Well, guess what? He played like a backup who doesn't play. That's how he played.
Mhm.
I feel bad for the Broncos fans. I feel bad for that defense
Mhm.
because the two things that they weren't supposed to do, they did.
Yep.
They did. Take the field goal. You saw Storm was coming because then Lutz couldn't hit anything. He had 2 attempts in the second half and he couldn't hit anything. You take the field goal, you take the easy points, you go up 10-0, and then the length of the field the rest of the game. You never know. They might have won 10-0 with that.
Mhm.
That would have put so much pressure on New England. But the momentum flipped as soon as they stopped them on that fourth down, which wouldn't have guaranteed Denver getting a touchdown anyway.
I'm in total agreement. I'm telling you, you said everything that I thought. You know what I mean? When you have a backup quarterback, and we know that Sean Payton is aggressive. We know this, okay? But you cannot go into this game with the same intention of the backup as the starter. It's just common sense. It's common sense. You don't gamble with a backup. You just don't. You hear me? When you are in a position to kick, when you got points on the board, in that type of game, we know it's going to be a grind game. You want it to be an ugly grind game. You want it to be a defensive game. You don't want it to be an offensive game, right? Kick the field goal. 10 points. Your defense is playing outstanding. It's way more pressure on Drake May to perform. At that point, they couldn't get anything going because they was bringing pressure on that side, man. They was the side he was bringing heat, man. Then you go on 4th and 1. Well, I don't know what the play. It wasn't there. It wasn't there, Gil. It wasn't there. And he wasn't smart enough to say, "Oh, this ain't gonna work. Let me just try to shoot it for myself and get it." He's not that good. He doesn't analyze the game that quick on real time. That's what Bo Nix is there for. He would have analyzed it like, "Oh, it ain't there. Let me take over my legs and get it real quick. It's the first down."
Yep.
Right? Then you're in your own territory. Your own territory, bro. You're throwing the ball away. I don't know what you're
He
doing.
didn't even throw it. She shot put it. What was this?
He
What
panicked.
was this?
He panicked. You panicked. You cost your team the game.
Yes.
At a short field with New England, short field, Drake May just ran it in. It was that simple. That's a great. That's a. I'm gonna give him his. He's a great quarterback. He is. We talked about it. What you say, Gil? If you're gonna build, we talk about these coaches, these vacancies, right? What do you say? The best position is the one where you know you solid at the quarterback. So when Mike Vrabel, got to give him his fly. We got to, bro. Listen, this man was in Tennessee. We'll get to that organization. Okay. No quarterback. Never had a quarterback. Tannehill is okay. He's not that guy. We know this, right? He was a wide receiver converted to a quarterback anyway, right? You made your mark as your best player being the running back. Derrick Henry was the staple. Tough defense, grind out games, team that you took to the playoffs every year but the final year. Great coaching. You go, I know he was licking. Drake May, we knew he had the goods because he was on a bad team, badly coached team, 4 wins, but out that whole year, we said, man, they got a quarterback. Even with a bad year, because in a bad year, you're evaluating talent at a point. You start to evaluate talent. When you know the season's over, like, I don't know what the Jets is looking at because they don't have no talent. So I don't know what they're looking at to evaluate. You know what I'm saying? But that's a dump fire anyway. But anyway, when you look at New England, you say, man, some pieces there. You know, you start to see that they, one, they got a quarterback. 2, the defense sort of come on, sort of play it more solid. That's Vrabel's strong point is defense, right? Now, as an organization, you bring an O-line in to build to protect your franchise. You bring Josh McDaniels, you can say what you want as a head coach, he might not be it, but as an offensive coordinator, he's it. You got an accurate quarterback that you're not asking to do everything like year one. You're just saying play within the context of the offense. We're going to get pieces around you. We're going to give you some pieces that they're going to make plays. Just get it to playmakers. And worst case scenario, if it's there, take it. It's a simple system. Very, very simple, right? Mm-hmm. Year one. Gil, year one. This man's going to the Super Bowl. And I ain't got to hear nothing but the Patriot way. It ain't the Patriot way. Okay? I'm tired of that. It ain't that. I don't want to hear that crap no more. No, it's just a good coach. He got a new his identity, which was always a grind out, disciplined team. He always had a disciplined team, you know. So you bring that up to New England, which I hate seeing these dudes Super Bowl, but at least it's a fresh New England, and it ain't the Tom Brady show, which for May was a great situation. I feel sorry for Mac Jones. I really do, because he had to step in some big shoes with an old coach, with an old system, and it was the Patriot way. Was like going to military school, which is like the worst school to go to because you don't play loose, you play too tight because you're afraid to make mistakes in this system.
And they didn't have an offensive coordinator.
They didn't. They made Matt Patricia the offensive coordinator. The guy had the pencil. Get out of here.
And not only that, they wouldn't say Matt Patricia was the offensive coordinator. So they're kind of split in time between Patricia and Joe Judge, who was a special teams guy.
It was bad.
So you got a defensive guy and a special teams guy together doing offense.
So I felt sorry for Mac Jones because you just came into a bad situation. You know, I don't know if he would have panned out. He ain't Drake May.
No, but he can play, though. I mean, you saw him do well those few games he started for San Francisco this year.
Once again, the system. An offensive-minded coach is really good at offense. Mm-hmm. I thought New England did what New England was supposed to do in that type of game. You know, it wasn't going to be a big high-scoring game, definitely because of weather conditions. How many times must we see New England in these type of games? How many times, Gil? You know, we already know about the Raiders game where he fumbled the ball. Come on, man. He fumbled that ball. You know he did, Gil. They robbed him. The Raiders.
I remember that day because the game before that was the Bears and the Eagles.
It was. And y'all went to the Super Bowl that year, didn't you?
No.
Y'all got beat by the Eagles?
Eagles came to Chicago and
because
won.
the field goal kicker missed them daggone field goals in your house.
Our quarterback, Jim Miller, got knocked out. And Hugh Douglas, on a turnover, made a smash burger out of Jim Miller. And that was it.
Ooh.
That was it.
It was yeah, man.
I was watching that game at a sports bar called Gators with my good friend Eddie Thompson, who is a Washington fan.
Yeah.
He was at my birthday party that you went to, sat at the same table too.
Yes,
and
sir. That's my
man. Eddie was with me watching, and everybody else was an Eagles fan. And when the Bears lost and everybody laughing and holding their nose and pointing their finger at me. He was there. He saw it happen. So
Mm,
that next game with New England and the Raiders, I was half watching it and half just trying to hold back the tears
mm.
because it was tough. Hey, you think it's easy being a Bears fan? Oh, when you're never surrounded by your brothers,
Never.
the only ones that are supporting you is because they hate the local team as much as you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway. So yeah, so New England. So there's two things. To me, you got to give them credit because they have faced in the playoffs three of the top five defenses to get to the playoffs. And by the
They
way,
did.
the
They
team that they're
did.
going to play in the playoffs is also another top five.
Yeah.
So it'll
They
be
did.
4 out of 5.
Yup.
But with that being said, they are so lucky. They are so lucky because the other side, on the offensive side, you could not have gotten any luckier than the quarterbacks they
You
got.
ain't lying about that, man.
They
Not
played.
lying about
Oh
that.
my gosh,
Hold
they
up. Hold
played.
up.
They played Justin Herbert with no
Yes.
offensive
No
line,
offensive line.
so
You,
he had the worst game of the year by
yeah.
far.
You played uh
You played C.J.
CJ
Stroud.
Stroud with no weapons.
No, Nico, and again Stroud, worst game of the year. I mean, it looked like he was on the tank. It
Yeah.
looked like he was on the
Yeah, he
tank
got
giving the
that.
ball away.
He got that.
And then you play Stidham in the AFC Championship
So
game.
you knew. You and I both knew. Man, we said, man, come on, man. Because you got Bo Nix, it's a different game. It's a
Mhm.
different outcome. And I'm telling you, I'm going with Denver at home with Bo Nix and that offense, the way he is just built around him. He's comfortable in it. You're at home. He's a playmaker. And guess what? The fourth quarter, he plays better. He
He
plays
does.
better.
He
He plays
does.
better in the fourth quarter. You can say all you want
Poor
about
man's Caleb. That's what he is. He's a poor
that. What
man's
he
Caleb.
is. Gets it done. Stidham, you know daggone well, man, they would not win that game, man. And then on top of the fact that Stidham is who he is, then Sean Payton not calling the right game just did not help his team at all. At all. There's no way, heck, that you do not kick the field goal
How do
and
you
go up.
turn down points?
I don't get it, Gil. I
Make it a
never
two
would.
possession game and you know a storm is coming.
Come on, man.
I mean,
Come on,
they
man.
talk
You're at
about
home, Gil.
geniuses. Yeah, you genius, quarterback whisperer, blah, 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 blah. Where's the common sense? In life, I've
Yeah.
said this many times. I will take the person who lives their life with common sense than the person who is an A+ student in
Yeah.
an Ivy League school. Because when they're in a pickle, they don't know how to think for themselves by using common sense.
Mm.
Just use common sense. Go up 10. You go up 10 and Stidham takes a sack or whatever, doesn't put that ball to New England, they might win 10-0. I'm serious.
I'm dead
They might
serious.
not even need those other field
Dead
goal
serious.
attempts.
You're right, because you got to think at that point, especially the way the field was flipping, you ain't kicking a field goal because when that storm come in, it's just bad. It wasn't that Lutz is a bad kicker. It's impossible in them conditions to hit that type. It's just impossible. It is.
Drake May was only good moving his feet. He had in 3 games, he had not passed the ball well in 3 games.
No.
Not well. But
No.
by extending plays, by getting first downs, by running for touchdowns, not making too many of the big mistakes, letting your defense do their thing. Common sense. Great head coach, great offensive coordinator. Come on, Denver.
Hey,
This
man.
is one of those where you want to give credit to a team. I mean, I don't like the Patriots, but to be fair, you want to give credit to them. They're in the Super Bowl again.
Yeah.
But how lucky did they get 3 games in a row? Now listen, I think the luck has ended.
I think they're going
I think the luck
bro.
has ended. I
I
think
think
they've beaten 3 top defenses. I'm
but
not sure about that fourth one.
hold on, Gil. They beat three
Mm.
top defenses with lukewarm offenses, if not good offenses. It's a
Yes.
difference. You're going to plus a top five defense with an offense that's buzzing, that's booming. Man, they put 41 up on San Francisco, as you should. They come in there disabled, you beat them up. You don't play
Hmm.
with them. It's not a game. I'm not playing with you. You're not supposed to be in this ring with me right now. Okay? I'm knocking you out. I'm Josh. I'm Anthony with Joshua to Jake Paul and you right now. You should not be in this ring with me, boy. I'm gonna make an example out of you. That's what they
Oh,
did.
my jaw. Ooh.
Yeah, two
Mm.
places I broke it. That part. And now we're gonna slide over to the Rams, which fully stocked Rams. This is a fully stocked team. No deficiencies, right? They beat them. They beat them at their game, right? Now you're going against this confident team that's been confident all year, that's been consistently confident all year. Consistently. Not no weak schedule. Hold up, pause. We ain't going to get there either, Gil. We're not going to get there, Gil, because the Patriots had a weak they did
I
it
said they were
Gil.
going to make the playoffs because
We
of
said
that
it.
weak
It was
schedule.
weak. It was weak. It was weak, Gil. Don't compare it to what Sam Darnold and them boys had to go through all year. They had a hard schedule, man.
Hmm.
They really did.
He had to go through the fire.
They had to. And only lose twice, and you dominate on the road. You play better on the road than you did at home. This is like a road game, ain't it? It don't even matter, Gil. It don't matter. I'm just saying, New England. It's New England, so I don't sleep on them because they always got some trick craft and them got some crazy money, man. They got some things, man. I don't know if they got a hidden voodoo doctor that they know personally that they're gonna go put some bones and get the chicken bones and put a hex on that team where Sam Darnold will come out and play his worst game in the Super Bowl, and you'll be like, what happened to Sam Darnold? He's seeing ghosts again. You know why? Because Kraft and them boys then went to that Haitian witch doctor and paid some money to get them to see ghosts, literally. Seeing players ain't there. Outside of that happening, I'm just going with the better team, man. This team is awesome, man. And I'm gonna give them their flowers, man. And it might get ugly. It might get ugly. Like real ugly.
I mean, right now, I'm thinking Seattle wins comfortably.
Me
That's what I'm
too,
thinking.
Bill.
A week from now,
Yeah.
I might analyze something else because they're still kind of talking
Yeah.
about Sam Darnold not
Ugly.
100%
Yeah.
physically and all this stuff. But this is one of those things where I'm telling Sam Darnold the same thing. I'm like, you're in a rhythm right now.
Yeah.
We can run the ball, we can pass the ball, we can pass protect for you. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to go out there and try and win it because we've got a great defense.
That's a fact.
So just be you.
That's
Just
a
be
fact.
you. Don't play scared. Don't let the moment be too big for you. So my friend Mike Green asked me this question, and now I'm going to ask you this question. Where is New England clearly better than Seattle? Where are they better? Clearly. Are they clearly better at head coach?
No,
It's kind of a push, right?
it's a push. They're
Are
both
they
good
are are
coaches.
they are they clearly better at quarterback? It's
No,
kind of a push, right?
it's a push.
Okay. Offensively, who's got the better number one wide receiver?
Oh, Seattle by
Okay.
far, by far.
Offensively, who's got the better running back?
Seattle,
Offensively, as a complete unit, who's better offensively?
Seattle,
Defensively, who's got them dogs?
Seattle,
Both are good, but
Seattle.
you take a whole unit
Yeah.
and
Oh, I'm
who's
sorry.
better?
We're talking about
Who's
special
better?
teams too.
Special teams, it's not even
It's
close.
not even close.
It's
It's
not
not
even
even close.
close.
You got a game changer.
Yes.
Russ Shaheed is a game changer. He's a flipper. So
Yes.
kicking,
So if we're talking player for player, if we're talking unit for unit, if we're talking phase for phase, Seattle clears, right?
yes, sir.
Okay. That's what my friend Michael Green asked me, and we both were in agreement across the board, Seattle is either
Yeah,
even or better in
or better.
everything. There
Yeah,
is nothing.
they don't beat
I
themselves.
mean, Seattle's got Kubiak.
They do, and he dialed some stuff up,
So
man,
so
and
so he matches up with Josh, right?
definitely does, definitely does. And I don't see because that one play could have cost them when the defensive Wilson he taunted the sideline, and that was
Yeah.
a boneheaded to get some motion, the
Hmm.
emotion of the game. You're chirping, we get it, but you gotta be smart, bro. When y'all get the ball back, that could have cost y'all that game. Luckily,
Yep.
it didn't because y'all took a punt to a first down for them with that offense. You know, and they got
Did
on.
you did you seeing that? Did you think that was worth a penalty?
I mean, they chirping, man. Like
Aren't they chirping the whole
they
game?
chirping the whole game, man. Like, let's come on, bro. Come on. Unless he said some disrespectful, wild stuff in
Mhm.
earshot of the ref. That's the only way I could think he threw that flag because he said some stuff that was just out.
Unless he used a couple of those magic words, to me,
Yeah,
it's play on.
just
It's
play
play
on.
on.
Yeah,
And I wanted the Rams to win.
me
I
too.
was rooting for the Rams, and I thought they would win.
Me too. But
And my good friend Michael Green said he thought the Rams were going to win. Okay,
man,
so
listen.
that's three of us, and that's him going against his team
Hey,
in the
man.
NFC title game.
We felt like the Rams had the pieces to do it. You
It just
know,
looked like it was going to be
it
a
was.
storybook ending.
Yeah. But Sam Darnold outperformed Matt Stafford. That's how that went. No
Maybe that's the
turnovers.
storybook ending.
Yes, it is. And he played a heck of a game, bro. So shout out to that team. I think it's going to be a great Super Bowl. It's going to be a great Super Bowl. So I just want to see a good Super Bowl. You know. Um,
And shout out to their GM, because
oh
I
yeah.
mean,
Oh yeah.
it's a completely different roster from a decade ago. But man,
Yeah.
they got some dogs on
Different
that team.
dogs.
And
They did.
I did not think Jackson Smith and Jigba
Oh man.
by losing
Yeah.
what
DK Metcalf.
by losing DK Metcalf, I didn't think that was the opportunity to make him take off and be arguably the best wide receiver in the league this year. I
That
mean, it
was a
was him and
great.
Puka. Him and Puka were the two best wide
Yeah, they
receivers all
were.
year.
They were, and he's unguardable. He's unguardable. Like he is. Decaf has the physical size,
Mhm.
just like AJ Brown. They
Mhm.
have the size. They could catch and all that stuff. But man, this dude is just. You see the one-handed grab, man. This dude
Mhm.
doing some Odell Beckham Jr. type stuff, but
Yep.
with skill. But with skill.
Well,
With skill.
with DK Metcalf, he was slotted in the slot. When Metcalf left, they moved him all over. They put him at the X, the Y, the Z, and what they were saying was when he makes a break, he doesn't slow down. So he's maybe not the fastest wide receiver, but in his movements, he never slows down. So it's like he's the fastest wide
Mm,
receiver.
mm, mm, mm.
Yeah. I
Ohio
mean,
State, another Ohio State wide receiver.
another Ohio State wide receiver.
Man, oh man.
They do put out wide
They,
receivers,
and
man.
they got another one coming out, I think this
Yes,
year.
they
Don't think,
do.
oh my
They
God,
got
he's gonna
another
be
one
another
coming out
one
this
too.
year. They got another one coming out next year.
Yeah,
Smith.
Smith.
Next
Oh
year.
my goodness. And he's like Jeremiah Smith is like that. Yeah, he's like that. I like him a lot. You know what I mean? Marvin Harrison, we'll see. We'll see whoever coach they bring in, what kind of system they bring. They're going to bring offensive minded coach, and I can tell you that right now. They just had a defensive minded coach. So I'm pretty sure they're going to bring an offensive minded coach in.
Well, do you want to go there?